Hey, oh, hey, welcome back, ladies and
Welcome
gentlemen.
back, everybody.
If you was rolling with us through that first attempt on our new platform, man, I appreciate it. But we got a plug pulled that we wasn't ready for, so we back in action now. This is what's going on. I am Evolution, and to my left, or your right is my man, Mister.
Poetics, thanks everybody for hanging in with us.
Boy, that was a doozy, man. Wow. We got rolling on our topic today. Um, I'll hit you with the sponsorship later on, but right now, I love it. I can listen to that track forever. We got some new introductory music while we're holding on and waiting for the show to kick off. So I'm up here vibing like crazy. That's why I was like, "Yay!" Oh man! But today, our topic is when is enough enough, and we're gonna recap real quick on what we were talking about before. I gave evolution, no, not evolution, but I gave poetics the opportunity to just kind of highlight a little bit, just off the topic, what when is enough, and what you say, bro.
I was just saying, going back to, popular culture, keeping everything 100.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that, great movie that Jennifer Lopez played in. Of course, there are so many things that come to mind when you think of that statement, but that's just kind of right off the top.
All right. Enough.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, bro, our first bullet point here is when is enough enough? When it comes to money, and I know you and I always kind of have to go back and forth on this one because we definitely see things a different way on this one, but we can agree to disagree, of course. But with you, when is enough enough when it comes to money?
Um, you know, like I, s- like I was saying before, just everybody has to kind of be able to determine that level of what is actually comfort for them, because what's comfortable for one person, wouldn't necessarily be comfortable for another, and vice versa. So it's all about being able to establish what actually would allow you to be financially comfortable.
Hmm. Okay. Um, so basically, where I jumped in was from a different angle, and I was saying, well, actually, I was giving a little story about somebody that I know personally, um, but I highlighted everything by starting here. So in the ghetto or in the hood, uh, you got people who are living comfortably in the hood, and people who are struggling in the hood. And from that standpoint, the people who are struggling, they're kind of looking at the people who are comfortable in the hood some type of way, right? And even in the middle class, you got people who are at the bottom of the middle class. You got people in the middle of the middle class. You got at the top of the middle class. So the people at the bottom of the middle class can be the people in the middle as well as the top of the middle class some type of way. Um, and it even affects millionaires because I know a millionaire personally who used to live in Kansas City, right? So they started to get set up in Arizona, which is where most people who got money, big money, retire, right? So they went through the process of building their new in Arizona, but they didn't do their homework. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do all the research and whatnot. They just, hey, we got millions, so we're gonna do this, right? So by the time they finished their project at their new home and moved down there, they experienced the reality that they were at the bottom of the millionaires in that area. So the big time millionaires that were living there, we kind of looking at them like they was pests. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, you got money, but you ain't got the money we got, right? You got the smallest house on the block, and they just looking at you like, dang, you degrading our value of our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
so when it comes to money, man, when is enough enough? Because depending on where you at, it does make a difference. I mean, it even happens with billionaires, bro. So it's like you just enter into the billions, right? You're like, oh, I finally made it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I've established. Know, I'm locked in, right? And then you realize that you just barely made it, right? You're holding on, and you're trying to keep that status, right? And then there's other people with literally hundreds of billions of dollars in the billionaire arena. So you now looked at as one of the people who are like anorexic in the billionaire area, right? You know, they like you even got a plane, you know, and then when you do get a plane, oh, that's your plane. I mean, it's a small plane, bro. You know, you need to get here. You need to get big with it. You know what I'm saying? So when is enough enough? I know you mentioned greed the first time we went around, and that's exactly we're kind of hitting on right here because it can turn into greed. You know what I'm saying? If you're not careful, right? If you're not comfortable and at peace with where you at, but you can always come back and say, look, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? My family ain't got to worry about nothing. You know, I'm sitting on billions. I'm sitting on M's. You know, I'm sitting on thousands. You know, we good. We ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I can leave a little something for people coming up later. We can do what we want to do. You know, we can't do it to the magnitude that you can do it, but we can still do it, right? But people usually don't stand their ground. You know what I'm saying? They usually feel like, oh, you know, I've been grinding every day. Now I got to grind a whole lot more to try to catch them. You know, it ain't about catching them because really, you're never going to catch them. You know what I'm saying? If you just focus on where you at and what you're trying to achieve in life, you can probably have the same things that they have, just not at that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? So you got a house, right? They got a house. It just so happens that their house looks like a planet compared to your house. That looks like you have a house on the Monopoly board. You know what I'm saying? But you got a house, right? What are your thoughts, bro?
You know, I made this statement, I know once for sure, possibly twice on the show before, but I think it's the perfect time to make it again. And it's kind of piggybacking off of you, but comparison is the thief of joy. It's a statement that I've heard before, and I really like it because it's like if you're always trying to compare yourself to someone else, you'll never be happy because there's always going to be somebody that has more, right?
Absolutely.
So if it's always about feeling like you have to have more than everybody else, I mean that's a dangerous, dangerous territory, and there's always going to be, like I said, someone that has more. So to your point, it's really just about walking into your purpose, feeling, when you wake up and you feel fulfilled, that's all that really matters. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, somebody is not going to be happy with whatever it is you have going on, and somebody's going to love whatever you have going on.
Absolutely. Because there's people on both ends, right?
Right.
So, man, that's a great point and great statement. Actually, pulls out, bro, because when you're at peace with yourself and you're accomplishing the things that are important to you for your personal goals or whatnot, your bills are paid, you got a little chunk on the side, you know what I'm saying, that you're working on or building or trying to create, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? If you can take time out and spend time with the fam, travel a little bit, or even not, some people just don't even want to travel. It's just, hey, man, I'm going to get the fish fry going and I'm going to call some people, say, hey, come over, let's eat. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody call you over, vice versa. It's just about enjoying life for real and having a good time. And for me, when it's money enough, and when is enough when it comes to money, I'm like this. I want to make sure mine is good. I'm gonna make sure me is good, but I want to make sure mine is good. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's when enough is enough. What is it for you, bro?
Yeah, man. I kind of more or less have to echo the same sentiments. I want to make sure I'm good, obviously, and have some kind of inheritance to leave for some family member down the line or family
Mhm.
members.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm good with that.
Absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and hit bullet point number 2, man. I'm still tripping on what happened earlier, man. I was getting ready to roll, and
Man.
but we back in it now, man. Thanks to Jukebox Ginger hooking us up. Uh, so when is enough enough? Bullet point number 2: when it comes to tolerating others. Man. Oh wow. I'm gonna leave this one off, bro, because I got a couple examples. Um, there are some people that I know. They are really annoying people, but they're good people. You know what I'm saying? And they really can't help how they are because that's just really, literally how they are. Um, but dude, I mean, there are days you're like, oh my god, I got to talk to this person, right? I'm bumping into this person. I know it's going to be working my nerves, but they're really good people. If you pay attention and listen to them and get through all the extra that they bring, they actually are saying something. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be in the right mind frame. It's days you like, I gotta avoid them. You know what I'm saying? But then there's days, you know what? Okay, I give them a minute, which turns into 5, which turns into 10, which turns into 20. But at the end of that conversation, they appreciate the interaction with you, and you actually get to take away something that they brought. Um, and one of those individuals would just always pay attention to what's going on around. I mean, just nitpicking left and right, nitpicking left and right. And then I had another person approach me after I had a conversation with them and say, hey, why do you listen to all that? Why do you even give that person the time of day? I was like, you know what? I say, check this out. I was like, they nitpick and pay attention to everything. They don't really miss nothing. You know what I'm saying? And is it annoying? Yes. However, there's going to be a time that they're nitpicking and paying attention to everything. It's probably going to save lives or just make people avoid a horrible scenario. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I give them that time. I give them that space. I give them that credibility because they're paying attention to everything and we're not. You know what I'm saying? We can notice some stuff, but the stuff that we don't notice, they're paying attention to, right? So right now it might not mean nothing or anything, but if a certain scenario creates itself, they're gonna get it, and they're gonna be right on point. So I'm like, for those possible moments that could possibly happen, yeah, I'm gonna give them that. What you got, bro?
Great points, man. I'm gonna keep mine pretty simple, as best I can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just we always use that word balance,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that there are just scenarios where it really does pay off to understand that there's a time and a place for everything.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
there's a time and a place to listen to somebody that a lot of people may or may not pay attention to or give second thought to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because to your point, that person may actually come up with a really bright idea, or because of how they're wired, it may end up being something that can be really beneficial to a lot of people all at
Mm-hmm.
once. So it's one of those things where, balancing that fine line of, okay, I don't want to just have empty rhetoric conversation with this
Mm-hmm.
person,
Yep.
but you definitely, I mean, I would say it this way: we all take up space.
Mm-hmm.
So the same way we want to be respected, um, listen, listen to, appreciated even,
Mm-hmm.
is the same way others would like to be respected and appreciated as well.
Absolutely, man. And everybody was created for a reason, and we all have our presence and our gifts, talents, what have you. And as you was talking, bro, as soon as you started talking, I wrote down one name that takes us back in history that proves that. And I think we all can identify with this story. but the one name that I wrote down was actually Noah. Uh, so Noah was building an ark, of course, everybody knows the story. And it took a long time. It didn't take, it wasn't one of them things you can throw up in a couple of days, right? It took years, right? You know what I'm saying? For Noah to build this ark, and everybody was mocking him and talking about him, treating him and the family like they was stupid and idiots, and just I mean, I can imagine what they felt like, going back and forth through town, getting all these things that they needed to construct this huge ship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, can you imagine, bro? Years of putting this thing together, and while you're doing it, everybody just treating you like you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you pressing through, you pressing on because you know what's coming, and they don't, right?
Right.
So you just keep going, and then when it's almost done, people are paying attention because they've always been watching. You're like, dang, that's a big old ship, but I ain't, Noah's stupid. He's crazy. Something wrong with that dude. You know what I mean? And then once the ship is done and he's loading up animals, and all of a sudden the rain start dropping, you know. And now everybody, wait a minute.
Right.
Maybe Noah was on to something. It's like, so now it's too late though. You know what I'm saying? You can't get in the ship because you one of the ones that was tearing him up all them years. And he like, I only got space for what I got. Sorry. Peace.
Yeah,
what,
man.
what are your thoughts on that, bro?
I always say be careful how you treat people because
Mm-hmm.
you just never know, man. Noah knew something cataclysmic was coming.
Yeah, yeah.
He was, told by God what was coming. Now, even he, I don't think, understood the ramifications 100% because it had
Right.
never rained like this. You're talking about 40 days and 40 nights.
Absolutely.
And when everything took place, I'm sure the biggest thing for him is, man, am I glad I listened to God, right? you know,
I mean, I'm sure he had his moments, but
I mean, absolutely, but
even then, he had to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Imagine how back then with the tools that they had provided at the time, how difficult it would be to construct something that huge and that durable to endure, 40 days and 40 nights of rain, and carry the weight of all those animals and everything they had to put on there. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
So, and it was brilliant because, I mean, you can't store food, so you have to like let the chickens lay the eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to have some type of garden that can produce, fruits and veggies or whatnot. All this has to be thought about. Man, you got water. What they didn't have to worry about water. They just construct it to where the rain just comes down inside, right? So I mean, it was a lot to consider and plan to have the end result to be successful, right? But even then, just dealing with people, bro, tolerating others had to be. I know he wanted to smack the crap out of some people. You know what I'm saying? He wanted
Absolutely.
to go MMA, WWE, whole nine, right? But we know how the story went, and that's a great description of how people are. You know what I'm saying? And with people being the way that they are, we got to know when is enough enough. And I'm sure Noah was like, I want to let you in, but I can't let you in. You know?
I mean, yeah, man, the beauty of that, like that's the beauty of it all, man, is when you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what people say, what they think, what they do, what they call you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm, supposed to be doing. So at the end of the day, I'm going to keep doing it, and things will turn out the way they're supposed to.
And check it out, man. Even if not Moses, but Noah would have told them exactly what he was doing, they would have thought he was crazy anyway. So people don't see the vision, right?
Right.
So we all have a vision, and you can tell somebody what your vision is. They'd be like, I don't get it, right? because they don't understand the vision because it's yours.
Right.
But when you start working towards that vision and then start seeing the fruits of your labor, then they're like, oh,
Oh.
I get it. So think about the people who was witnessing Steve Jobs and Bill Gates as they were coming up with these programs 100100. They're like, man, oh, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I know you're smart, man, but that's a little weird. I can't get down with that. So look where we are today because of those ones and zeros, right?
Right.
They saw the vision. They continue to create new things to help support their vision. And we didn't see the vision until the computer was birthed. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Cell phone, you name it, all the modern technology. We didn't, people as a society or a whole don't understand someone's vision until it manifests in reality, right? So to me, when is enough enough? When people back up off of you because they see what you're doing. But
Mhm.
they can't see what you're doing until you do it, right?
Right.
And while you're working on doing it, they're giving you heck about
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
So the way we handle that is if people giving you heck about stuff, you own to something. Boom, there it is.
A lot of
Any
truth to
com-
that for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You good, or you want to move on?
Oh yeah, we can move forward.
All right. When is enough enough? Third bullet point. When it comes to being true, real, or down, man. Uh, this one right here, man. This is usually with the type of people that you're connected to, one way or the other. Um, for the most part, I'm gonna let you start on this one, bro. What you got?
Yeah, man. For me, it's. I don't know. Sometimes I oversimplify things, but sometimes I think life is really simple in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just all about being, the most authentic version of yourself to you,
Mm-hmm.
because trying to please everyone, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you know, and I can only speak for me in this from this particular aspect here of long as God is happy and my family's cool, and even to an extent, their opinions aren't as important as God. So,
Yeah.
for me, as long as God is happy with what I'm doing, I'm good. So I think the it's just you just have to be true to yourself. Whatever the most authentic version of you is, ride that wave.
Absolutely, man. And I'm gonna go here, bro, because I think a lot of people get caught up in things to where they're manipulated to do things because of how the group that they're attached to thinks. I'm gonna start it with a question: what is true? What is real, and what they consider being down. Is it gonna get me in trouble?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna cause something to come back on me? Later at some point. Uh, is it gonna discredit me? Am I gonna lose something behind it? You know what I'm saying? uh, or will it add value to me or what I'm doing? Or will it get me promoted? You know what I'm saying? Will it bring more fortune my way? That's how I want to present this because I think a lot of people get caught up in situations and scenarios. Like if your crew want to rob a bank, you know what I'm
mm.
saying? Hey dog, you down? No, I'm not.
Nope.
If you're
Right.
talking about putting a deposit in or starting a new account, yes, I'm good. But if you're talking about going in with some pieces in your pocket and you know putting people in harm or making them feel like they're in harm so you can take something that's not yours, count me out. You know what I
Man,
mean? Then I'm not down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud to not be down because you're gonna be the one ended up
down.
in a bag or behind bars, right? Uh,
Right.
or running for the rest of your life. I don't want none of that. Uh, when it comes to being real, you know what I'm saying? Uh, a lot of people got that confused too. You know, some people like, well, if you ain't smoking weed like me, then you ain't real. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or if you ain't selling drugs like me, then you ain't real. I can tell you what's real. If you back me into a corner or threaten anybody I care about, you're gonna see what real is.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna understand real quick.
Right.
And that's pretty much how I'm gonna leave that one. As far as true, uh, to me, just tell the truth. Just be truthful to how you respond to things, how you live. Like you said, true to yourself. Uh, on that end, man, honesty is the best policy. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what being true is. Like if you're an artist, let's go to Prince. When Prince was making music, everybody wasn't feeling Prince. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about Prince like, oh, this dude, he's garbage. You know what I'm saying? But look at the legacy that he put down. You know what I'm saying? Same thing
Absolutely.
with Anita. Same thing with Anita Baker, man. Beautiful voice, man. Great jazz singer.
Told her she couldn't
Started,
sing in the church.
man, in the church, man, of all places, right? She's getting
Wow.
slammed because of how she,
Because her voice
uh,
was different.
yeah, man. So, and look at her legacy that she built, and some of the biggest classics that music can provide, got her name on it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just you just got to be true to you. If people don't understand where you're at or what you're doing in the beginning of your stages of struggle and trying to put that goal or that vision out there, they bounce them off. Use that as fuel to keep going because that's really enough to keep you going for real. You get
Right.
pissed off with somebody and what they say to you, go to work. You know what I'm saying? Work on your vision. You know what I'm saying? Somebody trying to hold you back. They trying to take what you got when they see what you're doing. Hey, knock them off the shelf. Focus, go to work. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get what's yours, that's when you can look at them like, yep, I'm here. Where you at? They still in the same spot because all that time they was watching you and ridiculing you, joking on you, talking about you, trying to mess you up, or just trying to hold you down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's people out there doing that. Guess what? It's people out there to hold you up and push you forward. So that's
Hmm.
that's where you gravitate to, and that's when you really go to work. All right, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. I just think keeping everything in its proper perspective. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, man, is there's always perspective. And
Hmm.
when you're looking at things through the right lens,
Yeah,
it has a way of, hitting different. So
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. So being able to just see things, clearly for what they are, um, it's a sobering experience, and it helps. It liberates you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our next bullet point on the topic today, when is enough, is when it comes to relationships. Wow. This one, man. Uh, I'm gonna go here, bro, because I think this is very relevant to not just yesterday and today, but tomorrow. Let's talk about things that were created years ago, like laws, rules, ordinances, vows. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump back to the old Western days when people got married real young and they stayed with that same person for the rest of their life uh, because of the lines and the vows that say "till death do you part,"
Hmm.
or for richer or for poor, or for better or for worse. You know what I'm saying? uh, but nowadays, things exist that didn't exist back then, right? So let's just build on that because back in the Western days, your neighbor was like 2 days away. You know what I'm saying? By chuck wagon or horse. You feel me? Um, your because you had all this land, you had animals, you had stuff to keep you busy and stuff that you worked with your family to make happen every day, right? Everybody knew their role, they knew their place. So the the guy was out there working with the cattle and the horse, and working on the 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 crops. You know what I'm saying? And the kids were kind of aiding and helping where they could. Bringing stuff to dad, like a drink of water, or maybe he needed a tool or something, or bring this bag over here so I can, help me do this, right? And the mother was taking care of the house. She was cooking and cleaning and making sure when he came back in for dinner, it was ready because he was hungry. Maybe put some bath water together because he was hot and sweaty and stank from working all day. Uh, so people had their role, they knew their place, right? And nothing was interfered with. And when somebody came to visit, you know, you open your home to them and welcome them with open arms because they obviously traveled quite a distance, right? So you offer them a meal, you offer them something to drink, you have, take a load off, sit down and rest your feet. You know what I'm saying? Let's go for a walk. Let's talk. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Common courtesy, people values. You know what I'm saying? That was happening back then. Today, bruh, you can't let everybody in your house, man, because you don't know what they thinking. You don't know what their methods are or their motives. You know what I'm saying? You got people out there who target kids, right, in the wrong manner. You got people out there who target your spouse in the wrong manner. They might even target you in the wrong manner. You know what I'm saying? And they might even target the things that you had. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, bro, today, yeah, a lot of that stuff applies and those rules still stand. However, modification, you know what I'm saying? Things are way different now. You ain't gotta roll for 2 days to go to the market. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Pick up your cell phone. You can order DoorDash. It comes to your door, right? Your neighbors are right across the street or to the left or right of you. You know what I mean? They looking in your window from their window. You feel me?
Right.
It's a lot different nowadays. So when is enough when it comes to relationships? You got to set that bar. You got to raise that bar. You got to put that line down as a divider. Say, hey, you good till you get to this point. And once you're there, I got to say, hey, I need 3 feet on this one. You know what I'm saying? You need to hold your place and back up and recognize that you're crossing that boundary. You know what I'm saying? What do you got, bro?
Man, as you were talking, it's funny. I had a way that I was gonna go with this, and your perspective actually kind of helps bring it out
Mm-hmm.
because you mentioned one word that I was going to kind of build this around, and the word was values.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I think, to your point, there's been so much that, life has allotted us through technological advances. Like you said before, your neighbors are close by, your any commute that you make, you can do in a matter of sometimes minutes, even when way back when it might have took you a day, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's, the times are different, but I think the values have changed so exponentially
Mm-hmm.
that no one cares about people anymore.
Boy.
And it's like everyone is all about how can I benefit?
Mm-hmm.
I, I, and it's kind of like, I think there's a fine line. You definitely want to make sure that you're taken care of, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, in relationships, and it could be of any kind,
Yeah. Yeah.
relationships should be something that benefits the collective. It
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be one person being able to experience growth or make a come up. It should be something that, everyone is able to benefit and, be able to partake of, the upcoming, you know, ability to just be happy. So when it's a relationship with a significant other or a spouse, values,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said before, till death do us part,
Mm-hmm.
rich or poor, people stuck it out no matter how tough things got.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get older, they're like, man, I'm so happy that I did because, we've basically been tried, tested, and everything is true.
Boy.
Whereas, relationships these days and times are kind of like the wind blew east and it got just a little tough. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over here and I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave this person alone. And it's kind of like you want to be able to balance, when you see a legitimate red flag, you absolutely, take the precautionary measures.
Hmm.
But if it's just a little bit of indifference that both of y'all can work out, all I can do is just take a deep breath. Like people, there's no fortitude within relationships anymore. Everybody just wants to run at the first sign of trouble
Hmm.
or when they don't get their way in a certain aspect.
Boy, I think you said it, man. I think you said it absolutely correctly. And honestly, uh, it was a bullseye, bro, because that's basically what it is. It's a lot of selfishness today, uh, and no um, value. I was thinking about this the other day. So people use the word love
Hmm.
like like in places it shouldn't even matter, right? In places that it's not even important. So, and I'm gonna give some examples so you know where I'm at. People say, "I love coffee," or "I love this coffee from this place." You know what I'm saying? They'll even go as far as to say they'll tell you they love you, right? But I was thinking the other day, and this is what got me uh, really updated on the word love,
Hmm.
the word unconditional. So if you see somebody in the beginning, I don't know, maybe they're handicapped. You know what I'm saying? The first thing you notice is their handicap, right? And you kind of, your mind automatically responds to looking at them differently or treating them differently, right? Because of their handicap. But let's just say you have a family member uh, who's handicapped. You don't look at them that way. You look at them that as your family member, you know what I'm saying, or somebody who is important to you, and you look past that handicap to see them for who they are and know them for who they are, right? So, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. So so many people are handicapped, and
Mm,
what I mean by
mm,
that is the way we think, and I'm talking about people with all five given senses,
mm-hmm.
um, but they're handicapped in their mind so badly that it allows them to be successfully dysfunctional in life.
Wow, wow.
So what I'm really saying in short is that there are people who have legitimate handicaps,
Hmm.
um, and yet are more beautiful on the inside than others who are a bit more shallow on the outside.
Boy, boom, man. That's the point that needs to be made right there. Boom. Nothing else to be said, man. Heck of a bullseye and heck of a point, bro. Good
Thanks.
job on that. Um, next up, dude, when is enough enough? When it comes to faith or religion,
Wow.
um, man, look, um, I would say this, and I'm gonna put it broad, and I'm gonna let you elaborate. Then I'm gonna come back to it after you hit it. When it comes to religion or faith, um, in my
Hmm.
opinion, if it's outside of your home, it's usually decent. But when it extends to the point that it starts to infect the inside of your home, that's when enough is enough. What you got, bro?
Nice. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it this way.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, had a life changing experience about a month and a half ago now, and I guess to the point that you make, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
do like that point, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
I think the biggest thing for me is to what impact does it affect my home?
Boom. There you go.
because if it's gonna open up my eyes a bit more, if it's gonna allow me to be able to see things a little bit clearer than I was seeing before, then yeah, you want to welcome that because that's gonna obviously lead to growth.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, to your point, if it's going to negatively impact my home
Mm-hmm.
and it's not going to, bring the value of making me better, making my those who dwell in my house better, then
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that you want to subscribe to.
Boom. Okay. All right. I like that. Great way to do it. And it's going to put me right in place to where I'm trying to go. All right. So if it's affecting your house on the inside in a good way, to the point that you become a radical and try to push all of your religious faiths and beliefs on other people who actually start to feel uncomfortable from the pressure that you're giving them, then enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, if it makes you a better person, if it strengthens your household, yeah, absolutely. The balance is there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the imbalance, right? When enough is enough. And then even on the outside of your home, um, dude, I gotta say this. Uh, I'm stepping on toes now. The people are the instructors of
Mhm.
this religion or faith. If they're given direction that they won't even follow themselves, enough is enough, bro. You feel me? Uh, because you got a lot of people out there who gain trust with a lot of more people, and they literally listen to everything you say and do everything you say do. You got to be careful when
Wow.
you got to be careful when you get the type of leadership or power or influence, right? Because a lot of people start feeling themselves when they get to a certain level, right? And they start thinking, I can do what I want.
Hmm.
I can say what I want. I got people fall on me and they do everything that I tell them to do. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one. You know what I'm saying? No, no,
Pride
no.
becomes
That
dangerous.
boom, there it
Yeah.
is, man. So that's when you see a lot of people become self-destructive.
Mm.
And the things that they are doing are great at one point, and there's a pivotal point where you can just explode and rocket ship to the moon and do even much greater things. And then there's also that same point to where you can just either
Plummet.
stay level or plummet, like you said. So this is an example that I want to give because I heard this and I was like, you got to be kidding me. There are, or I'll say, there have been situations out there and examples where the people who I'm talking about, these so-called leaders, are asking their congregation to fully fund their wishes, pleasures, and dreams, I guess. So, and the reason I say it like that is because when you are in position to travel with what you're doing, the last thing you should ever do is ask your congregation or your followers or the people that you're leading to fully fund a new plane for you. Come on, bro. We got airlines out there. Hop on a plane. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think you are, right? For real, man. You're going to ask the people. I'm trying to keep it, I'm biting a lot of words right now. You're going to have the audacity to ask your congregation to buy you a plane. You know how much a plane costs?
Hmm.
So if your people got that type of volume of money, why would you have them buy one thing for you
Hmm.
when they could put a pool of money together and do something great for humanity?
Right.
You feel me, though? You feel me?
Right.
So that's a whole lot of selfishness, bro. A whole lot of pride, a whole lot of ignorance, and a whole lot of bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody came to me, I don't care who it is, bro. You want me to help you to do what? You don't want to be around after that.
Man,
Go ahead, bro.
There are times where I'm like so pleasantly surprised in our bullet points. And this is actually one of those times.
Okay.
I thought we would actually kind of be more button heads on this. But we're actually in like total agreement, because I think the biggest thing for me is, don't follow man, follow God.
Boom, there it is.
Man is only a vessel that God can use. And a lot of times we know how, all the great things he's done through mankind. But, mankind is still flawed. So you have to be very careful with putting all of one's trust in one individual, because that's dangerous. You can actually, set yourself up for a lot of failure, a lot of disappointment, a lot of pain and heartache, depending on how far it actually goes.
Speaking of how far it actually goes, bro, I got to go here. As you were talking, this popped in my head. When you have a relationship, in other words, if you have a spouse and you're connected to some type of religious or faith, enough is enough when you are allowing that preacher, that missionary, that church, that fellowship to be more important than the person that you vowed your life to.
Absolutely.
You get that? You feel that? So when you you're in an argument with your spouse, well, the preacher said, the pastor said, the missionary said, you better catch yourself. You better watch it, because if they that important, that you got to listen to everything they say, and I'm providing home, shelter, food, electricity, I'm taking care of you, then there's a door. You know what I'm saying?
I think society has gotten so lost that it tends to overemphasize the importance of someone in a religious authority. I think that it's, being, incredibly God-fearing myself, I understand and respect the importance. But when it comes to how each household is governed, it's really more about Joshua 24:15, where, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, not man. So I think that's kind of what it's going to really boil down to, is everyone has to understand the boundaries of, what is. And for those who don't understand the boundaries, sometimes you have to help them.
Ooh, man, that was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. And we heating up real big right now. Which is great. I love it, man. So we're gonna pause and take a break and go to a segment. This is gonna be real quick. I didn't see it and I didn't heard it all. This I don't know why I chose this, man, but check it out. In Los Angeles, more than 3,000 fake Gibson electric guitars shipped from Asia were seized by U.S. Customs at the border protection agents, and I will let you know why this is so ridiculous, and it's a great catch on their behalf. Gibson electric guitars, and if you're talking about 3,000 of them, the actual value of the authentic Gibson and 3,000 of them is $18 million.
Wow.
So if it's coming from Asia or anywhere outside the U.S., that's a red flag, bro. Because do you realize where Gibson guitars are made? Inside the U.S. So if it was exporting Gibson, it wouldn't have been a red flag, right? But because importing. It was, yes, absolutely, man. So somebody got busted hard on that one. But that's when I say the border protection says enough is enough because they know what's going on, bro. They know what's coming in and going out. And if you think you're gonna slip past that, especially with that amount of stuff, you might get away with 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said, I've been on tour, and I'm bringing these back with me. These are what I take on. Okay, yeah, you're good. But 3,000, nah, no, that's sketchy, bro. That's a little sketchy. What you got on that one, man?
Man, I just think that I'm gonna take it slightly serious, but I'm gonna make it short.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that people are too heavily influenced by trying to get over,
Mm,
trying to scam.
mm.
I mean, it's just kind of like I'm gonna keep, like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple. In the words of Spike Lee, do the right thing.
Yeah, man, because even Border Patrol says they have a point where they say enough is enough, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they realize people may slip something through here and there. That's why they so thorough. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna catch everything, but what they do catch, they catch it. Are they gonna be making some wrong calls? Absolutely, man. Because I had a souvenir pocket knife, and I'm talking about souvenir size like this big, right? And it was from another state that somebody brought me back as a souvenir. Souvenir, right? Little bitty file on it about this long, just a file, right? Just like to file your nails, and that was it. I mean, there wasn't no knife on there or nothing. It was just a little file. Dude at the security took my souvenir. I'm like, you kidding me, right? He's like, I gotta take it. I'm like, for your own personal use or what, bro? I let him have it, bro. I don't hold back. So I'm like, man, go ahead with that, man. I forget you, dog. Do what you got to do. If you feel you got to take my stuff, take my stuff. But that's messed up. I let him know. I'm,
Wow.
I'm a character, yo. When I get irritated, I'll just let you know that I'll let you have it.
Wow.
But
That's
yeah,
tough.
and I told him, I said, dude, ain't like I'm packing a gun or Rambo. You know what I'm saying? Them 12-inch Rambo knives. I was like, it ain't one of those. I was like, dude, it's a pocket. It's a souvenir. You know, and, I kept going until he gave me that look. I'm like, all right, you ain't gonna be strip searching me, dog. But I let him know that I was pissed off that he was taking my souvenir that was a gift to me. But enough is
Wow.
enough, right?
Wow.
I didn't see it, and I didn't heard it
Heard
all,
it all.
bro.
Man.
Just do the right thing. All right, we getting back into our topic for the day, which is when is enough enough, and this is what's going on with poetics and evolution. And our next bullet point is when it comes to inflation, when is enough enough, man? What you got, bro?
Man. Enough was enough years ago.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about it, just, little small things, $5 for a gallon of milk.
Mhm.
Just, the pricing of gas, especially around certain periods of the year. The holidays aren't what they once were for me, but I just noticed, Thanksgiving or Christmas comes around and
Mhm.
gas is 30 cents higher than it was the day before. Like, come
Mhm.
on, man, or like,
Yeah.
and they'll make it a point, like, we're gonna make it be this one price the whole week, and I'm like, oh, because people are traveling, going to see the
Mhm.
family, like that's
Yeah.
just, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. And I'm gonna highlight some things that I think that are very relevant and due to what's happening now. It's ridiculous because, dude, it's not just inflation. It's absolutely astronomically ridiculous because when you get like in where we live, I'm sure it's not happening anywhere else. uh, like when I get my house taxes, there was a time where you only getting taxed on your house, right? So, and that was it. and then they started increasing the value of your house so that they can get more taxes, right?
Wow.
And so all of a sudden that ain't enough. So they're gonna create some type of community government to where they can now charge you taxes on the schools that are in your area. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I can go on. People know where I'm going with this, but it has nothing to do with your house and taxing your house, right?
Right.
You getting taxed on other things that have absolutely nothing to do with
Nothing to
your
do.
house.
Right.
So this is far beyond inflation, and it's in the category that I call uh, mafia style interest.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
This is
That's
gangster. This is
that's
gangster, bro.
that's
You know what I'm
100%
saying?
what it is, man. It's wow.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, and then you talk about electricities, man. You know, you're not just getting charged for your electricity to your home anymore. They didn't raise that so much that it's like astronomically ridiculous to even go up higher for what they charge you, which is ridiculous.
They're charging you
Yeah,
for stuff that they can't even explain what the heck the charge
yes,
is.
man. Payment in lieu of taxes. What in the world? Come on, bro. That
For
that
my
is something,
utilities,
man. That is something that somebody in the government or somebody white has come up with, bro. Because I can't come up with that type of evil. I can't come up with that type of evil, bro. I'm gonna charge you for what you're paying for. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it, I know all white people aren't like that. I digress. I'm sorry, but uh, there's some good people out there of all backgrounds.
oh, for
Uh,
sure, for sure,
but I think you get my point when I say it like that, though.
man.
So let's talk about even and just everyday courteous things that are beyond what they should be, like inflation on cell phone bills, bro.
Hmm.
I go off on these people and I let them have it because you're getting charged to pay your bill nowadays. You know what I'm saying? What the dude? I gotta cut my lips, man. I gotta sharpen my. I gotta lock my jaw, bro. I'm about to say something.
I
You
mean,
going? Ain't
that
that?
is that's crazy because it's like they're going to charge you to actually pay your bill inside the store, but if you
Yeah.
set it up for auto pay, there's no additional charge.
Oh, or it might even be a discount. What
Right.
what are they doing, bro? What are they setting up? What's the deal for real, man? Because if everything is electronic, I'm just gonna say it real, man. I'm gonna be real with it. I'm gonna be down with it. Uh, I'm gonna be true with it. If everything is electronic and the power goes off, or there's some type of glitch, or is there some type of hack? You see where I'm going with this? Anything is possible, bro. And if you're not on the beneficial side of that setup, then you can get really jacked up. You know what I'm saying? What you got, bro?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take it here just because. I just think that it's Bible prophecy being fulfilled, man. It's hard for me to kind of
Man,
go elsewhere with it because
yeah,
it's everything that it's saying will come to pass is kind of pretty much things have certain things have taken place, some things are currently taking place,
yep.
and some things have yet to take place, but it's kind of like with the track record, it'll happen. It's unfortunate, but if you're not in a position to actually change the laws, and yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the raw side of that one, and
Oh man.
you'll be feeling a little bit bruised and maybe have a rash or some type of chafing going on. But yeah, you're gonna get the
Absolutely.
bad part of that one. So absolutely, man. Inflation is like you said, long time ago, it was enough is enough, but today it's so ridiculous, bro. It's like I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. I was recently looking for a vehicle. I don't need one right now, but I'm kind of in the market for one if I want to be. So I went to this place that gave me an offer through the mail. I followed up on it. I said, okay, let me go check it out. First of all, their vehicle selection was sub,
Limited.
sub,
Okay.
sub. Nice vehicles until you look at them or drive them, right? The appearance looks okay on the outside, but if you got experience with vehicles and you get on the inside, you know, this thing is wobbling a little bit. I'm hearing a little noise.
Mm-hmm.
Just ain't quite right. Ain't quite right. Excuse me. Maybe the mileage is a little high or whatever. You know, they knew that they were selling sub vehicles, right? And none of them were brand new. You know what I'm saying? They were like used. So that was mark number one. Two, the condition of them. And three, dude, they were wanting new car prices for these used vehicles. I'm like, okay, first of all, do you even know what market you're in? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're offering new car prices for used vehicles. No, I'm sorry. You're going to be unsuccessful, period. But you're definitely going to be unsuccessful with me because if I'm going to pay new car prices, guess what? I'm going to go get a new car.
Right. You
You
want
know
the
what I mean?
value of what you pay
Absolutely.
for. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, dude. So this is leading right into our next bullet point of when is enough enough when it comes to being done wrong or ripped off. And we were kind of hitting on that when we were talking about inflation with how these organizations and these companies are doing people wrong, getting over on them and straight ripping them off because they're already overcharging you. I mean, we all can agree on that one. Um, they are far beyond what they should be charging you, which is ridiculous. And then they're attacking on things here and there everywhere they can to take more money from the people that are customers. Uh, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I can understand if you validate your increase. Okay, it's been 5 years. The economy has, things are more expensive to purchase as far as what it takes for the material that we put together to make this product. You know what I'm saying? I get that. There's going to be a certain percentage of increase every year. With that being said, there should be a certain percentage of increase in what we make. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell you what, if I'm making the same, I don't care what your increase is, I'm only going to spend what I got. And I'm only willing to spend so much. You feel that? What you got, bro?
Bro, I'm gonna take it here. Oh, this is awesome. All right. When it comes to being done wrong or ripped off,
Uh-huh.
me and Popular Coach, I'm gonna take it here. Okay. There's a movie, and I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's called Beekeepers.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, with
yes,
Jason Statham and Felicia Rashad.
yes.
Shout out to both of them who did an outstanding job of
Mm-hmm.
acting. But it's an eye opener when you really think about how it all goes, because it's not just the government, it's not
No.
just your local, state and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're seeing all these increases on the same salary. But
Mm-hmm.
then you have organizations that are literally operating to scam people out of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about everything. You're talking about extortion scams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're calling, posing like they're your bank. Uh,
Yeah.
it's so many different ways that people are trying to manipulate you and basically take what you've earned.
Yeah.
And the irony of it all for me is everybody that you're taking from or even trying to take from are just people who went out and worked hard and earned a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of like you can have the same results they have if you did the same thing they did, like go and get a real job and go and earn a living. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's one of those things, but it's also the repercussions behind those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You basically targeted the wrong person in this movie, She ends up, losing everything. It was so unfortunate, and ended up
Mhm,
taking her own life as a
mhm,
result of what was done.
mhm,
And as a result of all that, because of who you did it to,
mhm.
I mean, it trickled all the way up to the president, and it was
Yeah,
basically,
man.
it was like a one-man wrecking crew of it was almost like a equalizer, a vigilante justice, uh, you know, exponentially increased, because it's like, do the right thing. I say all that to say, instead of trying to figure out ways to, get over
Mhm,
and rip people off,
mhm.
you can kind of figure out ways to just continue to build your own thing, doing something actually that's legal that
Yeah,
would actually benefit you.
and benefit you a lot more because nothing's gonna come back to haunt you, right? So
Exactly.
in that movie you're talking about, that you probably given away a lot of the goodness of the movie if somebody ain't seen it yet.
Well,
But
man.
yeah, I got you, man. But the moral of that story is when you do things dishonestly to rip people off, it's gonna come back, regardless of how far you think you can go with it, or think it's bulletproof, I guess. But in the end, when things do come back on you, they're gonna come so hard that it'll be catastrophic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Especially because you're doing good, hard working people wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then when when it's get what you deserve behind that, it's gonna come full circle, and it's gonna come strong. And you're not gonna be ready for it because you're not even prepared for it because you don't even think it can happen, right? So enough is enough when people are ripping off when it catches up, because it's no joke, man. If you trigger the wrong person or the right person,
Hmm.
you ain't ready for what's about. And most of the time, it only takes the one person to piss off, and they're a nightmare on your hands, right?
Right. I'll just kind of end my little part of this by just saying something. Just a few words, man. You reap what you sow.
Boom. That is. That is. Bullet. But, so, all right, next up, man. When is enough enough when it comes to family? Uh, let me go here.
Hmm.
Because I know really good people, man. I mean, really good people that you would think would just love everybody. And then you talk to them, you'd be like, get on a subject or something. They'd be like, well, I no longer talk to this person in my family because they're just not right. I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to everybody. I'll do anything for anybody, but it's done with this particular person in the family. And to me, that means such a boundary was crossed with their family member till they were to the point to where they absolutely want nothing to do with you. And that's bad, bro. I mean, that's like the worst because in most things you can always rely on your family, right? But
Hmm.
if you did something so foul and so disturbing to where your own kinfolk are like, they turn their back on you,
Hmm.
then you're in a bad place. You gotta really check who you are and what you've been doing your whole life to get in that position with the people who are in your bloodline. You know what I'm saying? What you got, bro?
Wow. I love that point, man. That's a bullseye, because it goes on far too often.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you said, when the chips are down and there's no other alternative,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking, man, my family got me. Or, in most cases it's like, oh, I got my family on this or whatever. And it's just kind of like, but for you to do something so egregious that
Mm-hmm.
even your own bloodline is kind of like, I have to love you from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you, man. And there are points where enough truly is enough, where you have to say, I love you, but I can't condone or support what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything
Wow.
else? I,
No, man. I think
I
it's just
I think
go ahead.
I think that's point blank, man. I think that
Yeah, I
one is
think
just point
it's
blank.
yeah.
The way it was set up and the example behind it, I think that's point blank. You really can't say much more on it because you just inject up so bad. Maybe even many times,
Right.
maybe even just one time, but it was such a awful, terrible that you did to where the people that you're supposed to be connected to forever, you broke that connection.
That's a tough place to be in,
That's an awful place to be in, bro. But there's a lot of people out there like that,
for sure.
unfortunately. So more power to you. However you can reconstruct that communication. And usually I'm gonna say this. When you mess up that bad, even if there is a reconnection, it's never gonna be the same or what it was. It's gonna be I'm one eye open if I'm asleep, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm always paying attention to where you at because I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I'm allowing this to be some sort of a communication because I'm being a better person. But you just know where you sit with me, it's from across the room. It's not next to me. You feel me? Or three buildings down the block.
And it's funny though. I will say I will say this just to add in.
Mhm.
Obviously, depending on what that person does, it's obviously going to carry along ways and how you may feel if an interaction happens in the future.
Mhm.
But I will say we do have to be very careful with forgiving somebody, but not really. I think we have to, if you're gonna forgive somebody, forgive them. Doesn't mean forget,
Right,
but
right,
it
right, right.
means love them wholeheartedly like you did before.
Mhm.
Now again, if they're gonna make a similar mistake or even come close to that, we where they stand,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
and you know where you have to go. But I
Mhm.
think second chances should be warranted because at the end of the day, if you show me a perfect person, man,
You
we
know,
you know we, we all make our mistakes. I'll say it that way.
absolutely, man. Second chances. Everybody deserves a second chance, no matter what. And I'm cringing when I say that because some people are out there messing up their first time around and like, oh, I get another chance. No, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's
Right,
about.
right,
If you honestly, truly make an error or
right,
make some type of mistake, and it was something that wasn't plotted, or
right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying, something that wasn't, you know, deliberate, then yes, you deserve a second chance. But if you're only going to use that second chance to do the same thing you did before, you don't deserve a second
There's
chance.
no point. Right.
Yeah, right, right. So there it is. Anything else on that, bro?
Nope. Self-explanatory.
Boom. There it is. We got two more. Hang on. We got two more. We almost done. And I appreciate you hanging around, especially after that big glitch in the beginning.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Woo!
Appreciate you
That was
guys.
that was kind of ugly, man. But we got through it. So when is enough enough? When it comes to a job, work, or business. What you got, bro?
I love this one because there's so many jobs and careers out there. Some rewarding, some not.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, the biggest thing I've been learning over the past year is your work environments and the things that surround the work environment, such as the
Mhm.
leadership or in certain cases the lack thereof,
Mhm.
can really impact not only you individually, but
Mm-hmm.
the entire company as a whole. So it's incredibly vital to understand how to create a work environment that's healthy, because I read a statement before. I was on I think it was LinkedIn, and I read a statement before, and it stated, what really determines, and I'm paraphrasing, but what
Mm-hmm.
really determines a successful company is not the profits that it brings in, but the actual smiles on the employees' faces come Sunday
Mm-hmm.
and Monday.
Mm.
And I just thought I immediately got what they were saying. It was,
Yeah.
basically saying in short, when people feel happy, I mean, yes, money is going to, have a lot to do with that, obviously. But when people actually feel happy at their occupation, they're
Mm-hmm.
not always looking for the next thing. There's that the philosophy of you don't always do something for the money, but you do it for the enjoyment, and you like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the employment industry, let's just be real, man, they've gotten away from it.
Boy.
It- it's gotten to a point now where you're just another number. Oh, if that person leaves, oh, we'll just replace them. If they, if we fire them, yep, we'll replace them. But it's like, most of these jobs have high turnover rates as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of putting a band-aid on it and hiring someone else just for the cycle to continue to repeat itself, why don't we actually fix the problem so that you can actually have a higher retention rate?
Boom. Hey man, that's solid. That's too way too much sense, man. Um, I got a couple different things I want to go at,
Sure.
and I want to highlight exactly what you were talking about, which is basically how you treat people or how you treat your people as a company or a business. Uh, that is how you're successful. You know what I'm saying? Because when people patronize and you use your product, buy your product, or shop it wherever it is that you sell, um, it's the interaction or the experience that brings them back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So usually when people get pissed off or don't like what you're doing, they don't come back. But if there's an issue where there's a misunderstanding and it's explained in the right way, presented in the right way, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. They'll come back. You know what I'm saying? And even your employees, like you said, the smiles that you see on the employee's face, if everybody's grumpy and irritated, and they're going to display that and present that in the interaction with the customer, right? You don't want that because if I'm getting bad energy from a company or a person that works there, guess what? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? My money's worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? My money is worth a good experience, a good product, and if I get those things, then I'm gonna return. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So on the opposite end of this, um, when it comes to when is enough with a company or a job or business, I'm gonna go here. I was actually talking to someone about this literally yesterday. Uh, the conversation that was struck brought up the occupation of a person working on an oil rig, a person working on as a fisherman at sea. Um, when is enough? So they pay great money, or they could pay great money because of your dedication and how extensive the work is and where the location is. You're like in the middle of the water, right? But it's dangerous. Things can happen. But because you're dedicating literally all of your hours to this particular type of profession, um, it pays a lot of money.
Right.
However, the drawback is you usually don't have a family, or if you do have a family, it's a huge, huge strain on the family environment. You know what I'm saying? Because you're away for so long, um, and then when you finally go back, it's great, but then you got to go back out there again to make more money. Um,
No
and
work
then,
life balance.
yeah, there it is, work-life balance. We need that for sure to be successful. And then also the task. What are they asking you to do? You know what I'm saying? When is enough when they're asking you to risk your life? You know what I'm saying? Uh, let's talk about a paramedic, a fireman, or even someone who works at a hospital, you're around sick people all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're in situations that are extreme. You know what I'm saying? You have to protect yourself, your health. Uh, you just have to be protected all the time. You got to have protective gear. You got to know a lot of information to where you can real respond accordingly to what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Uh, a paper fire, a oil fire, a chemical fire. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a different response to all those type of things. You have to have that knowledge and experience to know how to respond when you see those type of things, right? So it's the task matching the money. You know what I'm saying? Is the job matching the work life balance? You feel me? When is enough enough? What you got, bro?
Yeah, man. I think that's beautiful what you broke down, because it's so many scenarios where they're like, "Oh, we pay you this, so
Mm-hmm.
it's good enough the expectations that we ask you," and it's kind of like not
No,
always
it's
the
not.
case.
Right, right.
Like sometimes, yes, you might pay well, yes, your benefits might be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
However, maybe you have micromanagement issues as a company, or
Mm-hmm.
the goals that you're actually setting forth are actually unrealistic to meet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these are a lot of the huge reasons that people are kind of like, I got to do something different. I got to go elsewhere, because even when you're successful at it, in a way, they're still not even satisfied at some of the goals if you're able to hit them, and that's a big if. They're still not going to be satisfied, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, that's greed on the other side of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're going to always do your best as an employee, because you understand that you're trying to meet your own quota of expectations, right?
Absolutely.
But there comes a time, but you have to have that balance where, okay, family is also important. We need
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have time off. We need to be able to do this. We need to be able to do that, and enjoy a vacation without feeling like, okay, when I come back, what's the environment or what's the situation with my occupation going to be like? I mean, you should
Mm-hmm.
never have to have those things in question.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think, yeah. So I think that enough is enough when the ends really truly don't justify the means anymore.
Boom. There it is, man. And I'm gonna go here, bro. Since you went there, um, there's a different view, obviously, that has become the norm with the owners of the company, the management of the company, and even the people who work for the company. But my point in all this is everyone's work to life balance should match. If you're the owner and you're never there, but you're reaping all the benefits, and the people that work for you are always at work and never get to enjoy the benefits, then that balance is off too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
if you're not offering the the best benefit package, the best pay, and the best time off opportunities that's paid for those
Right.
employees, then you got to check what you're doing, because most of those type of companies are failing drastically now. You know what I'm saying? It's not the small businesses that are closing.
It's the
It's the
the,
chick.
the mega conglomerates.
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
because their balance is up, bro.
Yeah. They
If
think that their
you
name is enough to make their business stand.
at one time, possibly, and
Right.
nowadays, no,
No.
because if you're a CEO or above and you're pulling millions of dollars a year, getting stocks, getting all this, you riding a Porsche or Bentley or BMW, whatever, and you got a beach house in Florida. You know what I'm saying? You got your big mega house where you live. That's probably 45 minutes from the actual facility. You got to drive a little bit to get there because it's so nice, right? And
Hmm.
then your kids are going to Harvard, Princeton, or Yale, and you got this resort package that you use every year in the Swiss Alps. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all know what I'm saying.
That's tough.
And then your people that work for you can barely pay their bills, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of them are hungry at break time at work because they don't have enough to buy something to eat. You feel me? Or they don't have enough to buy enough to eat, so they'll be full. You feel me?
Wow.
So these owners and these business people that make the decisions about these companies, they need to check all this, man. And then you got people with health issues, right? They need a benefit package, man. Come on, let's be fair. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's be fair. If you're a billion-dollar company and your people that when they retire are still struggling, something is way wrong, man. Something is way wrong. And I say enough is enough in that matter, in that aspect. If you're not paying them nothing, you making millions of dollars a day, right? And you can't pay your people hundreds of dollars a day. You
Right.
feel me? They
Right.
paycheck for every 2 weeks is a couple $100. You feel me?
Ain't that
That's
tough?
that's
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 that's that's unacceptable.
absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Come on, man. Let's get it right. You know what I'm saying? Let's be fair. Let's treat people like people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Heck, animals are getting treated better than people nowadays. Am I right?
Without question.
Let's go,
You
man.
know, you know what's
Go ahead.
funny, man? I just want to add this one comment in.
Uh-huh.
I like Stephen A. Smith, the sports personality,
Uh-huh.
and he makes a statement, and I totally agree with. But I'm gonna go ahead and tie this into what we say
Mm-hmm.
to this topic here. And his statement is always, fair is a place where they judge pigs. And I'm like,
Ooh.
and I'm like, I as much as I love that comment in this situation,
Uh-huh.
fair shouldn't be the only play. It shouldn't be only in that contest. It should be in life.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well stated, man. I ain't got none on that. That was a heck of a point, man. Bullseye. So, man, wonderful, man. We're killing it, man. We're really touching a lot today on our subject title, which is when is enough enough? And our last bullet point for today is when it comes to dealing with people's stupidity, ignorance, or misunderstandings. Wow. We just keep adding to it, man. So, what you got, bro? You got any examples? What you
um, wow. Okay,
got?
so
Wait a
and,
minute.
and
Try to streamline your response because I know you got a lot of examples, bro.
I mean, I'm just going to say this. People are so insufferable
Mm,
a lot of times that, it, you have to really balance that fine line of, okay, I need to respect all people because this person takes up place on this planet as does this and so forth and so forth. But
mhm,
it's like there is a fine line between having to, have the basic respect for, mankind
mhm.
and just not tolerating nonsense, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because the biggest thing is, and people have a real tendency, the fracture, mankind is so fractured,
Mhm,
they have a real tendency to take your kindness for weakness.
mhm,
They'll think that, because you allowed one thing to slide, oh, you're going to just continue to allow this and this and this and this and that.
mhm.
And it's kind of like, enough is enough. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's a point, where God was merciful enough to give us all brains.
Mm.
But I think the people who operate in stupidity, for lack of a better term, they do themselves and the world a huge disservice by not using it.
Boy, and even God for that matter. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
so let me. So many directions I can go with this, bro.
Right.
Ah, um, let me start here. If something is an actual misunderstanding, okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you one misunderstanding. But if we hash it out and I explain to you what's what, how this needs to go, how it needs to continue on from this process, and one day, 2 days pass, and we got to come back to the same misunderstanding again, you know, your past is gonna get revoked. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Um, that's where enough is enough. You know, we shouldn't have to talk about the same subject or the same thing or the same situation 90 million times a day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a waste of time, yours, mine, and everybody else's. Either you figure it out or you take yourself out of the structure. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because if you can't function in a functional society, then you're on something else, and then you need to be by yourself. So that's on a
It's sad.
misunderstanding. Yeah, man. On a misunderstanding, that's where I draw the line, bro. I give you one. You know what I'm saying? In each scenario, I give you one. But after that, I don't give you three strikes. You know what I'm saying? Because people get used to having three strikes, and
Mm-hmm.
then they try to get 4 strikes or 5 strikes or 50 strikes. No, no, that ain't how it works. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be considered serious and taken seriously, and you want people to respect you and what you got and what you're doing, then you need to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? You need to, if there is a misunderstanding, hash it out, get the understanding, and move forward. Don't go right back to it. You know, that's a mess. That's what I call ignorance and stupidity. You feel me? So,
Right.
so with that being said, lead me into um, the next case or scenario. Got to draw the line with. I mean, in every scenario, man. I mean, everything that we talked about today, uh, you got to draw the line somewhere. But when it comes to ignorance and stupidity, let me go here, man. This is really something that's been bothering me for a while. I'm trying to figure out how to word it to where it doesn't irritate a lot of people, but I'll just say it. There is a time of the year that everybody celebrates for what's important to them, who they are, what they are, and they have a way of celebrating. And in this case, I'm gonna use the one of the Mexican holidays when the my fellow Mexican brothers and sisters they fellowship and gather in their vehicles and rode through the city waving their flag from their country, right? Which is cool. You know, I think that's great, you know, that they can express themselves in that manner. And a couple of times I joined in. You know, first time it was an accident. I just happened to turn around, make a turn, and I was in the middle of a parade, right? So I'm like, cool, I like this. This is cool. I'm throwing peace signs to everybody. Yeah, I dig it. I understand your emotion. I understand your point, and I support it, right? And then later on, we had a different type of parade happen with people waving different flags, and it was kind of not the same energy, if you know what I mean. Uh,
Mhm.
so to me, that was kind of like a ignorance type of response, a stupidity type of response, or a disrespectful type of response, just to say that we can do that too or whatever. You know, I'm like, come on, man. You know, can we make our own? You know what I'm saying? Can we do our own? And then it's some people out there, they got it made anyway. So why would you even go there? You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's like on a job. Let's go back to a job where someone has 40 years of seniority, right? They got 40 years of seniority. And at that point, that person has done so much for the company that they deserve little perks here and there, right? Maybe they get certain days off. Maybe they get certain days that they work. Maybe they get more vacation time than everybody else because they've been there the longest, right? So then you get somebody comes in, they've been with the company 40 days.
Man.
And they're like, well, Chuck, he got 5 weeks of vacation. How come I can't have 5 weeks of vacation? I work for the company too. You need to get smacked in your face. Hold on. You need to get smacked in your face from the backhand, kicked in the stomach, and bum rushed by at least 30 people. No, 40 people, because you didn't go through what this person went through. They earned it. They put in the work. They
Right.
were loyal to their position, their job, and everything else. They got their own time for all them years. They ain't in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They made it to work in the snowy environment days. They wasn't feeling good, but they still went to work. You know what I'm saying? They pushed through it. They got through it, and they dedicated all their time to their company, so they deserve those perks, right? You've been there for 40 days. You ain't proved nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You've been absent a couple days in those 40, and you've been tardy a couple days in them 40, and you left a couple days early in them 40. Come on, man.
That's tough. That's crazy.
Let's keep it real, bro. People need to stay in their lane, man.
Right.
When you get 40 years, guess what you get? What they got.
Right.
You earn that, right? But
Right.
in 40 days, you got the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? You got to prove yourself.
You come in on base level.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. What you got for that, bro?
Yeah, man. I actually just I appreciate the sentiments, man, because it's it's just one of those things where things should be earned. It shouldn't be a given. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like I'll take it here. We. I hope I don't offend too many people, but I got to make this statement. Of course, now we have sports for children and all of that, and everything that's great because they need that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The trophy should go to the victor.
Yeah. Because that's how
Now,
everything else is in life.
exactly. Now, there's nothing wrong with being recognized for your participation, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But for the person or the team that actually, stands out and was able to be victorious over the rest of the teams,
Mm-hmm.
there should be something extra, something that oh yeah, they've earned this celebration or this praise or these trophies, these awards. So that's just kind of where I stand with it. It should just be things should be earned in life. Outside of the basic rights of being a human being.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. When you go hard or you work well as a team, you practice, you learn the drills, you get the defense down, you get the offense down, uh, you get the scoring down, and you're winning, you're destroying teams, or you're working really hard to get a win by a small margin. Yeah, you deserve to be rewarded. If you make it through all that season and you're the victor over all the other teams, your record is the best, you win the championship, absolutely, you need to be rewarded and celebrated. Uh, and also, what do you call that? Sportsmanship. You know what I'm saying? You want to display good sportsmanship. You want to shake the team's hand that you just beat.
Absolutely.
Say, hey man, you really challenged me today. I appreciate the work that you put in today. You did great. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for you to get the W, but man, I'll see you next season. I know it's going to be a lot tougher next season. You might even get me next season, but for right now, don't hold your head up. You know what I'm saying? You did good. You made it to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's to be great. That's wonderful, man. Even though they're feeling some type of way because they didn't win, but I think to give everybody a trophy, even the losers. Uh, let's just say it like this: if it's 10 teams and you got a first place trophy, second place trophy, third place trophy, all the way down to 10th place trophy, okay, I'll support that. But if you give them a trophy because they're gonna be crying and being upset and soft, no, no, kick some
Right.
dirt in their eyes. No, let me stop. You better get strong. You know what I'm saying? Come back.
It's
Play to
competitive
win.
sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
competitive, compete, play to win. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there and play soft and just run the bases because It's just what you're supposed to do. If you lose because you ain't working as a team and ain't focused and ain't putting your effort in, then you lose. You the
Yeah.
reason you lost. You need to know that hey, we lost today because we wasn't working as a team. You know what I'm saying? We missed some catches. We failed to get the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? We got some turnovers. You know, look at why you lost, and
Right.
then teach them how to minimize that so they can win. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Well, we lost today, but tomorrow, if we lose, it won't be like this. We lost by
Right.
15 today. Next time we lose by 7. Okay. Next time we lose by 1. You know what I'm saying? But after that, guess what? We taking them to the hole, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then you may lose the first 3 games, but you win the rest of the season. Guess what? You back at the same spot and you win it all the next time. What you got, bro?
Man, that's actually perfect because it leads me right into this. Doesn't that what we just broke down, ladies and gentlemen, sound a lot like life?
Right? Absolutely.
I mean, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but the purpose is, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's
Boom.
not a race or a sprint, but a marathon.
Boy. And when it comes to giving up, being shady, taking advantage of people, disrespecting people, falling short, not capitalizing on your moment, that's when enough is
It's
enough, ladies and
enough.
gentlemen. That's what we got for you today, man. Man, Poetics, I appreciate you, bro. We kill it every single time. And we're on our new platform now. I hope you enjoy it. The new backgrounds is sick.
Yeah, I like them. I like them.
Yeah, man. We're still learning the program and the system, but we'll get it down soon. Uh, but I'm liking it so far. We had a little glitch earlier. I'm glad you stood by us and got through that with us. And we appreciate your support always.
Thank you.
And we're gonna be doing bigger and better things, man. We got so much stuff coming, y'all. Y'all just better get ready. Poetics, you got any final words, bro?
No, man, I just want to say thanks everybody for hanging with us and seeing us through all the way to the end. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, man. So right now, bro, we just gonna leave the studio. I'm gonna give you a call after this. All right.
All right. Peace.
Y'all take care. Peace.